step up to the edge of a cliff, a high balcony, or the platform of a train station. You look down at the drop, and for one split second, a voice in your head whispers, "Jump." You feel a physical pull. Your center of gravity shifts forward. Your stomach drops. You jerk yourself back, heart pounding, terrified by what just happened. Because you don't want to die. You love your life. You have plans for tomorrow. So why did your own brain just try to kill you? The French have a phrase for this. They call it l'appel du vide, the call of the void. And for a very long time, psychologists thought it was exactly what it felt like, a hidden, subconscious death wish. Sigmund Freud believed every human being carried a death drive, a secret desire to return to the state of nothingness. But Freud was wrong, because the void isn't calling you, and you don't have a secret desire to die. What is actually happening in that split second is far stranger, and it reveals a terrifying truth about who is actually controlling your body. Let's start at the beginning. In 2012, a clinical psychologist named Jennifer Hames at Florida State University decided to study this exact phenomenon. She surveyed hundreds of undergraduate students, asking them if they had ever felt the sudden, inexplicable urge to throw themselves off a high place. The results shocked the scientific community. Over 50% of people who had absolutely no history of depression and who had never had a suicidal thought in their entire lives reported experiencing this exact feeling. It wasn't a glitch in a broken mind. It was a universal human experience. Hames officially named it the high place phenomenon. But here's the thing Hames discovered. The urge to jump isn't your brain trying to destroy you. It is your brain desperately trying to save you. To understand why, you have to understand that you do not have one brain. You essentially have two. Deep inside your skull is the amygdala, a primal piece of biological hardware that is millions of years old. Its only job is to scan the world for danger and keep you alive. Layered over the top of that is the prefrontal cortex, the modern, conscious part of your brain, the part that thinks, talks, and understands logic, the part you call you. When you walk to the edge of a cliff, your eyes send a signal into your skull, but that signal doesn't go to both brains at the same time. The survival brain gets the image first. It processes reality milliseconds faster than your conscious mind, and when it sees the massive drop, it doesn't care that there is a glass railing. It doesn't care that you are perfectly balanced. It just sees a void. It immediately hits the panic button. It shoots adrenaline into your blood, fires a warning signal, and violently commands your muscles to step back. You physically recoil, but your conscious brain, the thinking part of you, is lagging behind. It takes a fraction of a second longer to process what just happened. By the time it catches up, you have already jerked backwards. Your heart is racing and your palms are sweating. Your conscious brain looks around. It sees the sturdy steel railing. It sees that you were perfectly safe, and it gets confused. The thinking brain operates on logic. It says, I was completely safe behind this rail, so why did I just feel sheer terror? Why did I just pull myself backward? It has to make sense of the physical panic it just woke up to. It has to invent a reason, and in a fraction of a second, it creates the only logical explanation. If I was safe, but I panicked and pulled back, I must have wanted to jump. The call of the void is an illusion. It is a post hoc rationalization. Your conscious mind is literally misinterpreting your own survival instinct as a death wish. But this is where it gets worse, because if your conscious mind is willing to lie to you about wanting to throw yourself off a building, what else is it lying about? In the 1960s, a neuroscientist named Michael Gazzaniga ran a series of experiments that destroyed the concept of human free will. He worked with split brain patients, people whose left and right brain hemispheres had been surgically disconnected to treat severe seizures. Gazzaniga found a way to show an image only to the right hemisphere of the brain, the side that doesn't control speech. In one experiment, he flashed a scary image, like a fire, to a patient's right hemisphere. The right hemisphere saw the danger, and the patient immediately stood up and started walking toward the door to escape. Then, Gazzaniga asked the patient out loud, "Why are you walking to the door?" The question was heard and answered by the left hemisphere, the talking, thinking side of the brain. But remember, the left hemisphere never saw the fire. It had no idea why the body had just stood up, but it didn't say, "I don't know." It didn't admit it was out of the loop. Instead, without missing a beat, the left hemisphere instantly invented a lie. The patient replied, "I'm going to get a drink of water," and the patient believed it completely. Gazzaniga called the conscious mind the interpreter. Its job is not to make decisions. Its job is to make up stories that explain the decisions your body has already made. Every single day, your subconscious mind is running the show. It decides who you find attractive based on immune system pheromones you can't even smell. It decides what food you crave based on gut bacteria demanding sugar. It decides when you feel angry, when you feel scared, and when you feel safe. It makes the choices, and milliseconds later, your conscious mind, the interpreter, interpreter, steps in and invents a logical story about why you made that choice. You think you ordered the salad because you want to be healthy. You think you snapped at your partner because you had a long day. You think you stepped back from the ledge because you fought off the urge to jump. You didn't. The machine did it. You just took the credit. For 300,000 years, your ancestors survived because their biological hardware reacted to predators and cliffs faster than a thought could form. You are alive today because your body does not wait for your permission to act. But we don't like to think of ourselves as biological machines. We like to believe we are the captain of the ship. We like to believe that our conscious mind, the voice reading these words right now, is the one holding the steering wheel. We built entire philosophies, legal systems, and religions around the idea of human agency and free will. But the call of the void proves that the steering wheel isn't connected to anything. You are not the author of your life. You are just the narrator. You are a passenger locked inside a meat suit that is reacting to a world you don't fully perceive, driven by ancient algorithms you don't control. Most of the time, the machine is polite enough to let you think you're in charge. It creates a seamless illusion of control that lasts your entire life, except when you stand at the edge. When you look down into the abyss, the timing glitches. The illusion breaks. For one terrifying fraction of a second, you catch your brain rewriting reality in real time. You feel the delay between the machine pulling you back and the narrator making up the story. The next time you stand at the edge of a high place and feel that sudden magnetic pull to throw yourself into the emptiness, don't be afraid of the fall. The void isn't calling you. You are perfectly safe. Be afraid of what that feeling actually means. Be afraid of the realization that you are not the one driving, and the thing that is driving doesn't even know you exist.